count the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnop.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vine, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark.
Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. BDST text line 540-391-0788. Whatever might be on your mind, we'd love to hear from you. It is a Tuesday here on the program. Coming up, Marva in Miami, and she'll be thrilled to death because her Tarheels got a big win last night. Maybe they're starting to learn how to play without their superstar. She'll be very thorough in her analysis. Ryan Seigla from the Boundary Corner podcast. Of course, they all went through and did their 2 deep. We'll see what they came up with. And Mike Burnop talks some Tech Hoops. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. Thanks to all the other nations that have subscribed. We have 13 total countries, which is awesome. Are we the international sports show now? There we go. There we go. So good morning. Hey, Stephen, how are you? Good to see you. It's brisk again this morning. 18 outside the doors here, outside the Family Fencing Studios. Feels like 6, they say. So, yeah, a little brisk this morning. But we're going to come out of it because low 50s tomorrow, heavy rain Thursday and Friday, mid-50s, 60s all weekend. So maybe, just maybe, once we get into March. I'm still thinking, though, we always feel like we're in the clear, and then about March 18th, we get some kind of snow for 4 or 5 inches. It lasts maybe a day as the temperatures warm back up, and it's gone. But it's annoying. It's very annoying. I hope that's not the case this year, but we shall see. But hope everybody's doing okay. Good stuff yesterday. Great comments throughout the day. Thanks to everybody who hits me up on the professional door text line. People really liked Coach Elmo and Todd Grantham. People were blown away like me. I don't know how good Todd has been throughout his coaching career, but 54 players he sent to the NFL. That's amazing. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. So appreciate that. Thanks for letting us know. So last night it was cool. I was flipping through TV. I don't know what it was on, but I found an old episode. Y'all remember the adventure cartoon Johnny Quest? You watch it, and now I want to go and find it on DVD and buy the whole thing again. But the animation was so good. I know this is random, but I've been thinking about it since I watched it. The animation was so good, and the stories were cool. And I remember just sitting there when I was little watching it, being scared to death over some of the things they were doing. But Johnny Quest was a great show. So it was one episode on. I caught like the second half of it, and I'm thinking, all right, so now I'm going to have to go on a search and find like the Blu-ray. There you go, TLB. Wasn't it great? It was awesome. It was awesome. And think about it, things were so much better. It's like shows like that were done. It's like the old Warner Brothers and things of that nature. Those were done basically for adults. But the animation was better. The writing, people cared about what they were doing, unlike today. But it was so good. So good. From the Italian soil, where the USA hockey team delivered a patriotic shocker, to the Congress chamber tonight, where all the politicians' brains combined couldn't fill a Foot Locker. BDST is live. Well done. Thanks, Morris. You Dolphin Direct Insurance, you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know this might be, but I don't care who is in office. I never watch the State of the Union address. It's just, okay. I was working on getting my taxes done yesterday and trying to figure out some sponsorship things. Yeah, Bandit was the dog, TLB. You had Race Bannon. He was the blonde pilot and kind of the muscle guy. And then you had Dr. Quest. He had the red hair and the beard. Johnny, for some reason, was blonde, his son. And you had Haji. I don't know why that all fit together, but somehow it did. Haji and Johnny were best friends. And then you had Bandit, who ended up a lot of times being the unsung hero, correct? Love Johnny Quest. And I knew about it, and then I forget about it, and then I see that, and I'm like, wow, this brings back, it was just flooded with childhood stuff, man. I wonder how long Johnny Quest was on. Now I got to look it up. And I see like there's modern stuff out, modern like toys with Johnny Quest. I think they went back and did some kind of line. Johnny Quest. I don't know how many seasons it lasted here. It's just so good. It was only on 1 year. It only had 26 episodes. Wow. It was a Hanna-Barbera production, although the animation was done by someone else. So it was inspired by radio serials and comics in the action adventure genre. Talks about the art, human characters, and the stories. I'm surprised it only made one season. Oh, they produced new episodes in 1986. Well, we probably don't need that. I thought it was on more than 1 year. So I got to find the one season and have it. Good morning, Prometheus. How are you? Bring the fire hot today. It's cold. So you had Johnny Quest. Oh, my goodness. You ready for this? Guess who voiced Johnny Quest? Animal House's very own Tim Matheson. Wasn't he Otter? Was he Otter? Then Dr. Benton Quest, Roger Race Bannon, because apparently he was fast or something of that nature. Then Haji Singh, Danny Bravo voiced Haji. Oh, well, this is great. So Haji was adopted by Dr. Benton Quest, and then he and Johnny became best friends. That's really cool. He was rescued and adopted. Well, that makes it even better. Been bandit. Great stuff. Oh, TLB, the original Scooby-Doos. Come on. And those used to be kind of frightening when you were little. They did a great job with those, man. Those first, and then that theme song, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Where Are You? The haunted house and all that. Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, and then they just stopped animating, stopped having Saturday mornings, and then they started doing everything with video games and whatever else. It's a sad state that we supposedly have all this technology, and I know AI will probably bring some of it back, but how bad animation got over the years. Some of the original Disney stuff is still some of the most beautiful animation in the world ever. And we got away from that. It's so tacky and bad now. It's a lot like comic book art because there was so much care taken for the stories and the characters. But yeah, good stuff. Scooby-Doo. Shaggy, who, by the way, was voiced by Casey Kasem, the radio disc jockey. Casey Kasem's American Top 40. Yep. Great stuff. Good day, Elsie. How are you? So I'm going to guess, Elsie, are you from Australia? We already have 2 subscribers from Australia. That's great. We talk about it all, Stone Dap. We usually don't talk about the NBA much because it's a terrible product. But anything you want to talk about, Stone Dap. Hey, well, good to see you, Elsie. So remind me, Elsie, what time is it right now in Australia? I always forget. We are 6:15 Eastern Time, United States of America. Aren't you like in the evening, or are you the next day or something of that nature? That always fascinates me, how this Earth turns around the sun. The rotation around the sun is fascinating. It always has been fascinating to me how you can have different times. I'm Greek, so I'm mostly into football. Soccer, as you call it. Oh, okay. Football. Don't need a voiceover for the Pink Panther, one of my faves. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You don't even, you just let that's a great point, Morris. You just let the animation, the storytellers were so good at telling the story with just the scenes. It's kind of like the Roadrunner and the Coyote. So here you go, folks. Thanks, Elsie. 10:15 p.m. Tuesday. So that is 16 hours you're ahead. 16 hours. Thanks, Stone. Appreciate that. Now we can add Greece. You are country number 13. Well, number 14, counting the U.S. I'll put that one down. Hang on to subscription. you like sports, it won't bother you. You know, you'll just get a little notification the show's on. A lot of times people subscribe for a little while, then they unsubscribe, but I don't know why. You can always join in. We don't encourage bots because a lot of times they say inappropriate things. But yeah, thanks, Elsie. Appreciate you. You are now the third member of your great nation to be subscribed to BDST. Morris is kind of our caretaker down in Palm Coast, so he can kind of help out. Morris can lead the new folks in. You're going to love Marva coming up in about 15 minutes. Marva in Miami. And we'll be talking college hoops. Yeah, there are a lot of bots. They pop in here a lot because we were gifted 2 streams because the show's done well. We get a lot of reviews and rewatches. So YouTube put out two of them. And then, and then it happens. But it's okay. It's okay. But now I've changed it to where I can eliminate them manually. And that's what happened to you, TLB. Now T-Bird. Sports, weather, pet peeves, Balboa. We're going to have a separate channel coming up in the spring, Big Dog Pop, where we're going to talk more things, go in more detail about things like, old cartoons. So, yeah, we're going to do all that stuff. And it's fun. And that's what the whole point of it is to have fun. But I appreciate everybody and all of our great sponsors. It's great. We are I got the update from YouTube in last week alone. So any sponsors, just understand, last week alone, this channel for 5 shows got 9,000 views or rewatches. And to me, that's incredible. So I thank everybody. 9,000. 9,000. And it's awesome. What's up, Anthony? You Louisville Cardinal, you? Yeah, it was a big loss for you guys last night. And I wonder about Pat Kelsey. Thanks, Elsie. Appreciate you. Pat Kelsey's a guy I know pretty well. He was at Winthrop. He kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He was always good to me. We always had great conversations. He was always very complimentary in my preparation. Not only during interviews, but when he'd go back and rewatch games against his team. He's a hard-nosed guy, but, Anthony, you've got one of those, you're a basketball blue blood. And it's not for everybody, and I get it. And I wonder, so what is the vibe? This will be a good conversation. What is the vibe with him down there? How is he received by what is just one of the best fan bases in college hoops? I remember back all the way in the Metro Conference days when Tech would play their games from old Freedom Hall. And the crowd was also always supportive. And then you get Denny Crum from UCLA after the great tournament game, and he turns Louisville basketball into a dynasty. So, good stuff. Morris says Marva is great. I am hoping she will not be happy with the outcome this Saturday, and hopefully Tech won't need 5 basketballs to play together. Yeah, it's really shaping up into a massive game for Tech because Carolina has taken care of business. So now you're talking about a massive, massive win. Massive win. I get that, Elsie. You're an open wheel race fan. I got you. Because Carolina has won at Syracuse. They beat Louisville last night. And if Tech goes in there now on Saturday, which they're capable of doing, watch out. We'll talk to Mike about that too. They are turning on him. Wins the games we are supposed to, but can't win the big ones. Yeah. Hey, Elsie, I don't follow it very closely, but I've always liked open wheel racing. I have. The Indy cars have always been, I thought they've always been cool. I was a Rick Mears fan growing up. I remember Rick Mears. Remember Rick Mears? Marva's always happy. and her smile is contagious. What's your favorite music, Elsie? We're a classic rock, R&B, soul, yacht rock type of crowd here. Yeah, Marva is always happy. I love it when like her kids are being rowdy and she's still trying to be mom but do the show. But her kids aren't rowdy very often. So sometimes they're a little loud. And she's funny. We work our way through it. Marva's great. I met her a long time ago when we were rotating through studios doing reports, and she's the same now as she as a wife and a mom as she was then. She's just always been funny and somebody you love to be around. Indie artists, yeah. Anybody who's true to the artistry of music is, even if it's not my cup of tea, that's cool. But when you're doing it just for, you can tell the difference between music that's being made out of care and music that's being made to be marketed. That makes sense? And I think today, way too much of it is just to be marketed. Taylor Swift. Nothing is of any substance. It's just there to try to make as much money for the label and the people, and the artist as possible. Like, I don't think you hear many new songs today and think, wow, they really reached me. Because I equate it to the kind of thing where you have younger people, the kind of thing we just talked about with the old animation, the old writing, why movies suck now, why TV's terrible now, why everything is just watered down and done for all the wrong reasons. Music probably has that same impetus behind it now too. Probably a safe way to say it. It's not everybody. It's not putting everybody in the same category. But you have your ears, you can tell. You don't need anybody to tell you because you can just tell. 2 of my kids are artists. Oh, that's awesome, Elsie. That is awesome. Hard to be grassroots music. Matthews. No, that's not what I'm talking about at all, TLB. Yeah, and I got again, it's not made for me, most of it. I don't dislike it just because it's something that's not in my wheelhouse, like new hip hop. It's not for me. I mean, I hear some of it and I get, I hear it a lot calling college basketball and when you're around the team and when they work out. I mean, you hear it all the time. But just because it's not necessarily what I would choose to listen to doesn't mean that I'm just immediately going to hate on it. It just means that you won't hear it. You won't see it on my playlist. Doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Whoever likes it, if that's what you like, that's what you like. Unless it's Dave Matthews, and then you're just all wrong. That was funny, TLB. That was funny. Rick cranks up the Green Day with the Dave Matthews chaser. I mean, it's how I start my every day, Wayne. Aussie Underground is on fire. I think it's cool that we now have 14 countries represented thanks to our Greek subscriber. And the fact that Australia now, let me double check here before I give Australia all of its props. But yes, Australia now leads. It leads in international subscribers. Hang on here. Elsie, you're now the 4th Aussie subscriber. I was wrong. How about that? Yes, sir. Thanks, Elsie. And like you, because I got to be honest, Elsie, this isn't you. When the first Australian peep showed up about 3 or 4 months ago, I thought it was just a bot. But then they contributed to the show. And everyone that's chimed in, now we haven't heard from the other 3 very often. Sometimes they check in. But they've stayed subscribed. And they will check in. And they add things to the show like you're doing. So I appreciate that. That's cool. Billy Strings, Morris says. Okay. Well, now, Morris, because it's you, I'm going to check it out. Amazing guitars. Well, that's what I like. Okay. Because of you, Morris would not lead me astray. Yeah, Elsie. Thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Billy Strings. See, Wayne, of course Wayne knows. Billy Strings sold out here in Roanoke. Not sure when he performs. That's awesome. All right, Leanne. That's what I'll start calling. I like Leanne. That's a good name. I had a girlfriend named Leanne once in high school. I'll check it out. How have I not heard of Billy Strings? Well, doesn't surprise me. I've become that person I hoped I would never be. I used to always make fun of my dad when he didn't know certain artists at the time when I was growing up or people on TV and movies. Now I'm that person. Dust in the Boogie. All right, well, that's what I'm listening to on the way to work. I'm going to mark it down. Billy Strings, Dust in the Boogie. I'm there. 100%. I bet Chad Hyatt knows who Billy Strings is. By the way, thanks to Chad Hyatt. So yesterday I'm at my desk at work and I stand up and I pull something in my right here, like right here. Upper back. Usually it's the lower back. And I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. And man, it was just pounding. It got sore and sore. So they had me on electroshock therapy yesterday. Acoustic guitar is absolutely the best instrument. Hey, now you're not going to get a whole lot of pushback on that, Leanne. I think most of the peeps here would tell you they love them some acoustic guitar. And when you have an artist up there like Glenn Campbell, and he's just singing and playing his guitar, God rest his soul, I mean, yeah. So I stood up, and it was painful, man. And I tried to walk it off. And so I went down, and Chad put me on electroshock therapy. He puts the little things around where the inflammation is, and you just lay there on the table. What's great, you have all the teams in there getting treated. You know, you had women's soccer, you had lacrosse, you had basketball players in there. They're like, hey, Rick. You know, I'm just laying there. It's great. And what's cool about the electric shock therapy is it takes a little while to get used to, man, because it's pretty. When you get up and you detach it, you feel like you still have it on. I remember I asked Chad twice, is it gone? He goes, yeah, you're going to feel that for about half an hour. And sure enough, you feel those electrical shocks going through your body for a half an hour after you're detached from the machine. It was wild, man. But it helped. And I think I'm going to ask if I can go back in there today and do it again. All right, Leanne, you've got Australian questions coming your way. So the Australian peeps familiar with Adam Gotsis, plays for Tampa Bay, played at Georgia Tech. He played for the Broncos. Rick is thinking of blaming it on the bookie. Yeah, Adam Gotsis was a Bronco for a couple of years. He wore number 99. He did. I remember everything by sports numbers. Always have. Mike Ashley's the same way. I used to remember phone numbers and my friends and girlfriends and you name it, addresses, uniform numbers. So I have to send Marva, because she's special, 2 invitations because she's got 2 emails. A lot of times one doesn't work, so I send her 1 to each. So we don't want to miss Marva. So there we go. So now she's got both invites. She'll be jumping on here in a second. Marva in Miami. Yeah, Gotsis was okay for a couple years. Yep. Yeah, he was a strong guy. Strong guy. Was kind of learning the game, but he had for a guy who's from Australia, he did a nice job. He sculpted out a 4 or 5 year NFL career. But anyway, I highly recommend the electroshock therapy. At least that's what I'm calling it. It's probably something else, but I like the way that sounds. But it is wild when you can feel that going through your body, 15, 20 minutes later. Like, wow. That Chad Hyatt, man, he's got all the gizmos. Oh, that's cool. He played on the same team as your son. That's cool. That's cool. Isn't Keith Urban? Is he? He's Australian, isn't he? Is that right, Leanne? Is that right? That's right, isn't it? See, I know a little bit. TLB says I re-aggravated a 2012 muscular back injury on Saturday. Finally went to urgent care yesterday and started on muscle relaxers. Well, I'm telling you, if he has time, I'm going to go back in there for half an hour today and get hooked up to the electroshock therapy. What are you getting into today, Rick? Well, I've got, and it just sounds cool. I've got electroshock therapy. Ooh. Wow. Have fun with that. Yeah. Thanks. And you sit down and you look at it. I'm sitting there looking up. So what would cause me just to stand up and then feel that pain? And I realize, you're just getting old. Old guy. Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know Margot Robbie was. I knew Hugh and Hemsworth. I didn't know Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie's Australian? Really? Nothing wrong with that. Well, anyway, thanks for the subs. And now we have 14 countries, as long as they stay subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. That's awesome. Yeah. Now, I got to be honest. I'm a pretty big fan of the Margot Robbie. She was Harley Quinn. I know that. Wasn't she the one in the Barbie movie? Not that I ever watched it, but pretty sure she was. So, see, I'm not completely ignorant to the new trends. Yeah. Yeah. And Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I don't care anything else that he does. I know he does a lot of stuff on Broadway. The fact that he does Wolverine is all that matters to me. He does it well. He's done it well for years. Many, many years, decades. Chris Hemsworth's Thor. I don't care about anything else he's been in. He's Thor. What's up with Australians and superhero portrayals? All three of them were in comic book movies. How about that? Yeah, Mel Gibson, the original most famous Australian. Who was the guy in Crocodile Dundee? That was based on Australia, too. Well, he was Australian, right? What was his name? I believe he just recently passed away. Did he not? See, Leanne, you turned this into an Australian first hour. My brother was wearing a TENS unit once. It slipped off his belt and into a truck stop near and knocked him across the room. Oops. Well, hope he's okay, TLB. Paul Hogan. That's right. He never did really anything after the first one. The first one's okay. I don't think there were others. Were there others? I never saw if there were. I'm very careful about sequels. I don't immediately get all excited over sequels. Rocky 2, I was excited about. Empire Strikes Back is by far the best of any of the Star Wars movies ever. Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1. Top Gun Maverick is much better than Top Gun. So there are some sequels that are better. Very seldom is that the case. Very seldom is that the case. So I don't know if there were more than one Crocodile Dundee movie. It feels like that was kind of a one and out type of thing. That niche probably scratched itself pretty quickly with one movie. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I leaving out any other good sequels? I'm sure I am. Which ones am I leaving out is what I should say. That covers it, right? Terminator 2. Terminator 2 I like better than Terminator. Not that I dislike Terminator. It's because you say you like one better doesn't mean you didn't like the original. I love T2. T2 is a great movie. Very smart, very well done. 4 Crocodile Dundees? Oh, Hollywood. 4? Wow. Morning, Chris. How are you? Yeah, Top Gun Maverick's very good. Top Gun, the original, is still one of the worst movies ever made that people will say is good. Terrible movie. Just stupid. Marva will join us here momentarily. And she's got to be thrilled. Tar Heels won at Syracuse. They won last night. We've already had a Louisville fan chime in, not happy. I mean, it's going to get serious here today. She's going to be fired up. She got the Tech game. Matthew Mason says Crocodile Dundee 2 wasn't bad. He's in Australia for it. Okay. Did it have the same love interest? I don't know her name. I just remember she was blonde. And so naturally they, fell for each other. What other sequels am I leaving out that I liked? Like, a lot of sequels never should be made. Like Major League is one of my, actually Major League is my favorite baseball movie. Major League 2 and then 3 are just wastes of every effort you could put forward. Terrible movies. Not even Euchre is good in Major League 2. And Euchre was brilliant in the original. Brilliant. Remind Marva. She might have something going on. Invites sent to you, Ms. Marva. Yeah, in Jurassic Park, the first one is still by far the best. It's not even close. The others are just an absolute joke. So already my back is hurting sitting down like this. Days of Thunder 2. Oh, my God. Is that coming out, really? That's got to be just terrible. Days of Thunder 1 wasn't good. It's good to make fun of because of all the dirt and how dirty they get inside the car on an asphalt track wearing jumpsuits or fire suits. Yeah, first Jurassic Park, I can watch every time. It's one of those movies that if it's on, I'm going to watch it. Just leave it on. Life finds a way. Life finds a way. That's true. Robert Duvall was really the only thing good about that movie. God rest his soul. We just lost him, didn't we? We just lost Robert Duvall. Like last week. But yeah, those movies, next time Marty and Rags is on, we're going to get Marty to talk about Days of Thunder. It's so funny. because that's when he was working for NASCAR.com. And we used to talk about it. I guess the one thing it was good, it publicized NASCAR and got them out there in a pop culture form, much like, well, you may scoff, but the Lightning McQueen movies did the same thing. Cars. I don't know who that is, Wayne. Jonathan Maxon. I don't know who that is. I never saw Varsity Blues. I've never seen Varsity Blues. I know. But I don't know who that is. Now I'm like Dad. I have no idea who Jonathan Moxon is. I'm sorry. I blame myself. Let's see here. Did Marva send me anything here? Marva's not responding. I hope she's okay. Send her the invite. No, she looks like she's. No, we'll see. We'll see. She'll let me know. She'll let me know. Oh, James Vanderbeek. I know who James Vanderbeek is. I thought Jonathan Moxon was the actor. Yeah. No, I've never seen Varsity Blues. But I do know who James Vanderbeek is. You know, that guy, he knew he wasn't going to be around much longer. He put together some pretty powerful messages on social media, man. Kudos to that guy for the way he stood up to the fight, and he did not he never stopped fighting, and he was strong as he could be to the very end. So that's sad. That's sad. He always seemed like a good dude too when you watch him. Big sports guy too. So that's a sad one. Yeah. Yeah, I hate that. Cancer sucks, by the way. This just in. Cancer can't suck enough. And there's never going to be a cure for it. You can do whatever you want, but it's not going to ever be cured. And it's, you know, it's sad. It's sad. It's taken everybody. Oh, thanks, Morris. There you go. Now, he's sending me a lot of stuff here with Billy String, so I'll be checking that out. I'll have that going in the Bluetooth on the way to work. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Dawson's Creek, but you would like Varsity Blues. Yeah, I'll give it a chance. I will. I don't know. It's one of those I never tried to avoid. It just kind of slipped through the cracks. Does that make sense? We never want Marva in Miami to slip through the cracks. And I know you've been eager. First of all, good morning. I hope you're well.
Good morning.
And I know you're fired up because those powder blue Tar Heels in Chapel Hill have put together a nice little streak here without their superstar lottery pick. Huh? A nice win last night over Louisville.
Yes, a very nice win. And when I was watching over the weekend some of the coverage, they were talking about this game, and they said Carolina had like a 30-something% chance of winning. I'm actually trying to pull this up because I don't remember exactly. I'm going to tell you the exact. They said a 39% chance of winning.
Really? At home?
Yes. And I mean, I know Louisville's a good team, but I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, so it made me a little bit nervous for the game.
Was this ESPN?
Yes.
Okay, well.
Now, I don't know where it came from. I heard it on ESPN, but it might have come from somewhere else.
That doesn't surprise me.
But yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was, according to ESPN analytics.
That's all you needed to say. That's all you needed to say.
Well, you know, it made me think, I don't know, like, what's going to happen? Is this going to be rough? And I think the key is people have just been stepping up. And with Vaystar playing, because, you know, I've seen some ups and downs since my last time here, Rick. I mean, Carolina got a just beat down. against NC State in Raleigh. And it was because Vasar was not there. And so when you have without your two best scorers, your two best rebounders, it's going to be a rough night. And on the road too, brutal. I mean, it was very hard for me to watch that. But over the weekend, Vasar came back for the game against Syracuse. And it looked like the other guys were just, look, we're not going to have Caleb. We don't know when we're going to get Caleb. I'm also hearing that Caleb is saying himself he's coming back next month, which is just in a few days. So, I mean, we'll see. The young man is saying it, Rick. I don't know what's going to actually happen. So the team really just kind of, everybody came together. Great performance against Syracuse and a great performance last night against Louisville. And the game, though, Rick, was so brutal. I don't know if you happen to catch any of it, but the refs were just letting them go. And I don't mind that as long as you do it consistently on both ends of the floor. And they were, I mean, I'm not just saying this as a Carolina fan. I mean, there were fouls Carolina players committed they didn't call. They were just like throwing the ball up, go for it. And they did. So I was happy to see that. I mean, I know you're a big fan of Seth Trimble, as am I. Had 30 points last night. And it was just a great atmosphere there in the Dean Dome. And I was happy to see them. And of course, this weekend on Saturday, Carolina is going to play Virginia Tech.
I know. You're going to talk some smack?
At home. I'm not, because that's not how I am. I'm not. I hope.
You would be around Duke fans. Yeah, you would be around Duke fans. I could see you getting a little feisty around the big crowd, especially if y'all were like way ahead late in the game.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, I don't have that attitude with Virginia Tech or just in general. I know that the Hokies are kind of in a tough position right now, but I'm sorry, I can't say that. I would never say I want them to win. But I always say, even when Carolina's playing someone, I never want the other team to be embarrassed. But of course, I want Carolina to win. So
I understand. Well, Tech's capable of winning that game too.
Yes, totally capable. And, they had a nice bounce back. And so, we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. I mean, almost anything can happen when you have schools like this going against each other. So
I've been impressed.
Carolina, of course.
I thought you guys, I got to be honest, I thought you guys were completely going the tank. I thought maybe Syracuse could be a loss. You handled things there. And then last night at home, that's impressive. I mean, maybe they're finding they understand now what they have to be. And I won't ever say they're going to be better without Wilson, but maybe they can be a different
that's
type.
Ridiculous.
They can be a different type of good, though.
Yes.
So that was good. That was good.
I was happy to see them, just step up, because it's easy to say, oh my goodness, we've lost our best player and the season's over. And I heard some of that talk from fans. But of course, fans are going to say what they're going to say. But I was happy to see that the way the guys stepped up, and you see with Trimble last night, I mean, 30 points, he was just on fire, especially in the first half. And then he brought it on. He kept that going, had like a small little lull, but he kept that going throughout the game. And he was a leader, as we know. I mean, senior leadership matters. Like in this day of NIL,
especially now. Yeah.
It matters a lot. It matters that he's been there so long, that he's seen a lot of things. So he's not going to be as easily rattled as maybe some of these newer people coming in, just because they haven't been there,
Yeah.
It's not a knock on them. It's just you got to get that experience under your belt.
Right.
And these days you don't see it as much. So it's nice, and it's important to teams.
Well, congrats to you. You've earned it. That you've earned that. And now are you off all week now? I guess you are until Saturday.
Till Saturday. That's a late 8:30.
Ooh, TV.
8:30. But I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
8:30?
Yeah, 8:30. It was just announced recently, because it had been TBD for a long time, or TBA, I guess, to be announced for a long time. But it just 8:30. So it's going to be a late game on Saturday night.
Yeah, you're right.
And I hope you guys can, get out of the snow and everything. That's wild. Like, I don't know if you had blizzard conditions like they did in some cities, but
no, we did not. We didn't get
cold.
We didn't get any of that. We did get the cold, but the Northeast is buried under 1.5 feet of snow right now.
Yes.
Team USA hockey had to reroute. They ended up going to Miami as they tried to disperse to play. Yeah, they've got games coming up. So
it's crazy. And I mean, it's even cold here for us. Like this morning, I think it was it 40? I got to check. I'm sorry. I got to stay on top of the weather. When I woke up, it was 40. and it's still saying it's 40, which is very cold for us. I mean, I know it's nothing for you guys, but that's pretty cold for Miami.
What is it?
It's 40.
40. Okay. Well, what's your high today, though?
High is supposed to be 67.
Okay. Well,
so nothing crazy. I'm sure you guys have something similar going on up there in Virginia.
36 is the high here. I was just looking it up as I knew you were going to ask.
But we're only a little bit warmer than you are. Okay? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. 30 degrees. Just a little bit.
Wait, I thought you said 36.
36. You said 67.
No. Oh, that's your high. I thought you.
What's our high?
Right now.
No, right now, Marv. You want to know where we are right now?
We're
17, and it feels like 6.
Oh, yeah. So it's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, and then tomorrow it gets up to about 50.
Oh my goodness! Somebody I see. Is this Wayne? They show up except when you were watching in person, Marva. Okay, I can't come over to Hokies, but I do. I will go for Hokies when they're going up against a lot of people. UVA.
Hey, Chris has got 35 at Virginia Beach right now, so he's rivaling you. Look at that.
Yeah. So we're just slightly warmer than Virginia Beach right now.
We have a skiff of snow in Pulaski, TLB says. We don't have any here. Yeah, maybe there's a little out there on the grass. I don't see much, but yeah, we're still getting snow flurries. I mean, it's just.
This is a crazy winter. No snow here, but I do have, friends who live in Boston, friends who live in New York, and they're sick of it. They're so tired of it right now because there's been so much snow. It's crazy.
But because snow can't just happen like once for 4 inches or so and hang around and then disappear. No, it has to pile on like it did this year. And oh, by the way, let's throw some ice in there and then just stay on the ground for a month and a half.
Ice is never fun because when I lived in North Carolina, that's what we seem to get most of the time, ice. So not snow, not the pretty, powder you can go out and play in as a kid. No, it's ice. It's dangerous and it's not fun. So I feel for you guys. Hopefully spring will come soon. I mean, we're going to be looking at March, right? Just a couple of days next week. So just hold on. Okay.
We're getting there. We're getting there. By the time
temperatures are coming.
By the time you get to like the Sweet 16 of the basketball tournaments, then you can start to say, okay,
it's
baseball season's a couple of weeks. Yeah. Then spring is a reality. Starts to become a reality.
Yeah. So I think down here we had yesterday was cold. Today's going to be cold for us. And then it starts to warm up. So by Wednesday, Thursday, things should be much better here.
Flip-flops and T-shirts from Marva.
I have flip-flops on now. I mean, it's South Florida. It's the lifestyle. Right?
I understand.
I won't wear them outside, but I have one right now.
Yeah, if you're outside during the summer in Florida, anything other than flip-flops, people are like judging you. What are those shoes?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Don't your feet get hot? What's going on?
Tourist. Yeah. So how excited were you? Team USA, what an exciting finish to the Olympics with the overtime goal. Did you watch any of that?
I watched very, very little of the winter.
Are you kidding me? I didn't either.
Winter sports.
I watched none of the Winter Olympics except for the men's hockey team.
Well, my husband was showing the kids some of the stuff because it's just weird stuff you don't usually get to see. And we're talking about it yesterday, and it's like these sports are so dangerous that it's hard for like common people to relate to them. It's like,
well, they're events, they're activities, they're not really sports.
They're dangerous, Rick. I mean, my husband,
they are dangerous. No,
snowboarding. He's like, I went snowboarding once, and he said I was terrified. And he's like, I just can't. He's like, you just look down. There's a big drop off. Yeah, the luge looks dangerous.
Bobsledding,
and I've seen clips. There was an actor who they were letting him do just for fun, go down in a luge, and he's like,
no.
He's like, I thought I was going to die. He's like, I thought I was going to die. Like, I just can't really relate to these sports. And so I watched maybe less than an hour of all the coverage across all the sports just because they're just not my thing. But of course, I always want USA to win, but I wasn't glued to the TV. It's not like the summer for me. I love Summer Olympics. Those are my sports.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I didn't. I did watch Sunday.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch. And it always happens at times, too, where it's just not convenient to watch. Too.
Well, in a different country, you got time zones and it's weird stuff.
Correct.
But yeah, I just couldn't really get into it. So I tried while he was introducing the kids to these sports. I tried to watch a little bit, but I couldn't get into it, and I just kind of tuned it out.
Yeah. I'm with
and no disrespect to athletes. It's just I wanted them to win, but I can't get into it. I just it's as someone who did not grow up in that type of environment where you're seeing these sports, I don't know. Just not
we don't really. It's true. That's true. The downhill skiing, it just looks like any moment now. We saw that a lot. Lindsey Vonn.
That broke. She talked about, she
revealed yesterday she almost had her leg amputated.
Yeah. It's like, no, thanks. I'm not, I don't.
Wayne's right. Biathlon shooting, that's rifles on skis. Who thought that was a good idea?
That is weird to me. And I kind of made a joke yesterday. That's how you take your opponents out. But I really don't think you don't shoot at your opponents now. That's not how. Are you
going to make a bet with all of our Tech fans about the game on Saturday? You gonna bet a little wager there? Carolina versus Tech. What do you got?
Okay, I hear this is the small wager. I'm like, if the Hokies win on Saturday, when I come on next week, I will wear Hokie colors on the air.
Oh, there we go.
I will wear maroon because I will wear maroon if the Hokies win. Yes.
Do you not have any kind of actual Tech gear at all from your days when you were working here? No. Okay.
No. See, when way back when I was there, like Virginia Tech and Carolina weren't in the same conference. If you recall, when I first was up there, and so I don't, and even if they were in the same conference, I don't know why I'd have Tech gear. But it's no disrespect. I enjoyed watching them while I was there, and Hokie fans are some of the best. But yeah, I don't. Why would I have Tech gear? That's so weird. Well, I do have a maroon shirt I'll wear.
Wayne says you need to wear orange and sing Hokey, Hokey, Hokey High. Do you have anything orange?
I don't wear orange. I just don't. That's really not my color.
No, I understand.
But I will wear the maroon shirt. Okay, if the Hokies win, I hope they don't. But if they do, I will do that.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go, Tech Nation.
That's the best I can give you guys. Okay. And the rest of the time, I'm going for you guys. Okay.
I know you are.
You're much more my vibe than UVA. Oh my goodness, I would never at any point.
You would never be UVA. Yeah.
No.
I get that. Trust me.
There's a vibe around UVA that's very kind of
similar there is
a vibe around Duke. Have you noticed that?
There is.
Fans. I'm not talking. There's a vibe.
I interviewed for that job several years ago.
What? My goodness.
Well, they called me when Dave left to be the Bucks announcer. They had an opening, and I went down there. And as soon as I left, I was feeling the exact same thing. There's a vibe that. So I thought about it, and after talking to Carla Williams, I called and withdrew my name from consideration.
That's the vibe. You would become a different person.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
Yeah. Different. Yeah. That's a nice way to say it. It's different.
I'm gonna try to stay polite. It's different.
Yeah, different.
It's different.
Let's keep it at that. But yeah, I have a good friend of mine went to Carolina. Her husband went to UVA, and it's different.
So you're guaranteeing a Carolina win to Tech fans. So you're online saying you're like Joe Namath right now.
Carolina's undefeated at home. Okay. I don't like to do guarantees, but I think Carolina will pull this game out. I'm not saying it's going to be that. Again, it's never my wish that anybody's going to be embarrassed or say it may be close, but I think it's been hard to beat Carolina at home this year. So I'm feeling good about that game.
So what I'm hearing is you're saying that you're telling all Tech fans that their team isn't any good and should not even bother to go inside the Dean Dome.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I respect the Hokies tremendously. I do. I'm not saying, but I just feel like Carolina's been very good at home this year. Okay. I'm not speaking out of school. I'm not going to say what the ESPN analytics say about that because we know they were wrong.
Putting ESPN and analytics in the same sentence is like putting, hey, Rick Watson, salad expert, in the same sentence. Some things don't belong together.
Oh my goodness. You don't like salads?
No, who does?
I eat a salad maybe 3 or 4 times a week for lunch.
You're lying to yourself.
I like it. Well, the key is you have to have the right ingredients, and I really like croutons. That's not really the healthiest part of the salad, but I like that crunch from the croutons. That makes the salad really good, and the right dressing.
You have to say hokey, hokey, hokey high, text, VPI, Solar Rex, Solar Raw, Polytext, Virginia, Ray Raw, VPI, Team.
Well, that's a lot. I couldn't remember.
I'm gonna send it to you. If
but I don't know the rhythm of it. I'd probably get it all wrong.
Yeah, I can't play the music. I'd get dinged here on YouTube. So
okay. So yeah, I will do my best. I offer the maroon shirt, and I will try to say that. Okay. And again, I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, I would never say that. Anything can happen in the conference.
What's great about that song is that when I was doing the Tech women's games and we beat Duke, who was nationally in the top 5, and Bonnie Henderson climbed up to the top of Cameron Indoor, we sang that on the air. She started breaking out into it, so I sang it.
Wow. Yeah, that's fun. That's why I love college sports. I mean,
yeah, used to be fun. It used to be fun.
It's still fun, Rick. Please, you can't be cynical, Rick. There's still a lot of fun. There's still a lot of joy watching these kids. I mean,
no.
Well, for me, it is. Okay, I still think it's fun.
Not when they're making more money than I'll make in 20 years. It's not the same.
But still, it's still fun. I mean, you watch professional sports, and I'm sure they probably make more than you do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, professional sports you expect it, but now you have college kids.
Now you have to deal with it. Rick, you just got to roll with it.
And many times they're just coming to your place to make that money, and then they're out the door. It's not it's just not the same. It's never going to be the same.
No, it's never going to be the same. We have to move forward, and there's still moments. There's still like really joyful moments, and there's still people who really you can tell they like being there. I mean, we talked about Seth at the top of the show. He loves playing at Carolina. I don't doubt that for anything. I don't.
Well, he makes $500,000, so there you go.
But I mean, I think
I'd love playing at UNC too if I was making $500,000.
I would love it without that. I mean, we just talked about professionals. They make a lot of money, but you can tell that there's some of these guys that they would do it for a lot less. They would do it for they love it. Like, there's some people who love it. They love the game. They've been playing since they were little kids, and that's their dream.
Wayne says if UNC wins, if Wayne says if UNC wins, we will all drink wine coolers. So I guess you say you're kind of a wine cooler fan base. Ooh, shots being fired. Ooh.
It's okay. Wait, it's okay. Again, I'm not going to get into any craziness with Tech fans. Again, I respect the Hokies. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm just saying Carolina has been tough to beat at home this year. So has not lost at home this year. So
you're guaranteeing a win, and you're telling Tech fans that don't even show up. Just don't even show up to the game. Wow.
I'm
Marva.
not.
Big words.
I am not saying that. You're trying to make me say that. I will not say that.
Hey, I'm just doing what the current excess media does. They create their own diatribe, things that aren't true. That's all I'm doing.
It'll be, Marva said she hates the Hokies.
Correct.
And see, they'll take that clip and, with no context, Marva said she hates the Hokies.
Exactly.
I don't.
Exactly.
I respect them a lot.
100%.
And I know that. Yes.
That's great. You're like everybody's favorite guest, by the way. I hear that all the time. Yeah.
That is so sweet. I really, your audience is just the best. I mean, they are a lot of fun. I always look at the comments as much as I can. Oh, a bunch of us Tech fans are fans of Carolina because of the hatred of Duke.
Oh, that's
again,
true.
I said that when Duke loses, America wins. And I just hate that they beat Michigan. Now they're number 1 in the country, and it's just going to have to hear about them. Had to hear about them during the Carolina game. If we just have a few moments, I know it's almost time for us to go, but don't you hate it when you're watching your team and they start talking about some other team? Now, if it's a blowout,
I mute the TV. Why are you still listening to the games?
If it's a blowout, I get it. Okay. But it wasn't a blowout last night. And they start talking about, Duke beat Michigan and Cameron. Because Jason Williams, or Jay Will, as he likes to go by now, he was calling the game. And I was just like,
oh my God,
do I have to listen to this?
Yeah.
He's really bad. Yeah.
Look, the first thing you need to do is whenever you realize you have to watch something that's brought to you by Disney, just immediately hit mute.
They have the Super Bowl.
You don't get anything. They got is it on ABC next year? Oh,
yes. And there's a commercial out about it already. And I'm like, didn't we just have the Super Bowl? It's like, we got to get people in early. But yeah, they had all the Disney characters getting ready for the Super Bowl. It was weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know.
All right. So, Marva, there you go, Tech fan. She's brought the smack this morning. So think about that this week, and she'll sing next week, or you guys will all be drunk.
Hokies. Okay. I love the Hokies, but I can't go for them on Saturday. And I think everybody respects that, right?
Of course they do. Yeah. Of course they do. They wouldn't respect it if you went the other way. Like if you started to hedge on. Now they know your loyalty.
No, I would never do that.
Sky blue. Yeah.
I mean, when I see people do that, it's just kind of, can't respect that.
What makes you angry when you hear Duke fans and you hear you're watching a game, or when people try to say that there's anybody any better than Michael Jordan's ever been? See, I know you have to think about it. It's the dumbest argument in the world that anybody tries to say someone's better than Michael Jordan at basketball.
I just, what can you do? People say some silly stuff, and you just like, okay,
I know.
Prove it, show it,
exactly.
And then we can have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. All right. Well, listen. Best of luck this week. You're coping with the Hokies are coming to town. They may fly right over Tar Heel Nation. Better watch out. They played well.
Yeah, you cannot overlook anyone. And I hope that at the season Carolina's had, they have learned that you have to bring it every night and be ready to go.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good game. What time is the game? 8:30.
8:30
Saturday night. Where am I Saturday? Oh, I'm in Longwood. I should be close to being back by then. We play at 3.
Good.
Yeah.
You can catch it on the radio.
I should be back.
How radio works. Catch it on the or there's an app. I'm sure you have the Go Heels app on your phone.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's right there.
If you don't have it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I know you will.
I care.
Yeah, I know you can.
Again, this is not an endorsement. I'm not getting any money for this. I'm just trying to say, it's a great app.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
All right, you take care of yourself.
Okay,
and
you too.
Have a good week, and it's going to be fun on Saturday. You'll get lots of texts, I know.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
All right, be good. My best to your family. Everybody good, by the way? I like to ask. Kids good?
Everybody's doing great. Everybody's doing great.
Kitty doing all right? Everybody good?
We'll have to talk about Kitty later. I don't want to put the show on a bad note. We'll talk about it later.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably should have mentioned that to you privately before.
Yeah, you should have. I'm so sorry. It doesn't sound good at all.
It's not good, but I don't want to end the show like this. So
okay, all right.
Yeah,
we'll save it for next week.
Okay.
All right. Well, have a good week, and I know everybody who's not a Tech fan wishes you a good week on Saturday.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys.
All right. Stay safe. Stay warm.
Stay warm. I will.
All right. Be good.
Okay. Bye-bye, Rick.
Marvin, Miami. Didn't sound really good about her kitty, though. I brought up something that I didn't know. Makes me feel bad now. We want to thank Family Fencing, by the way. They are the sponsor of our studio. Thanks to Jason Green. Family Fencing Studios. Give a free quote today at 540-200-8294 at familyfencingnrv.com. I think Jason came up with that logo. Isn't that a cool logo? Isn't that awesome? It's great. Professional Door Incorporated, sponsor of our text line. Thanks to Travis Williams. Residential Commercial Garage Doors. Family owned and operated, 38 years in business. Great logos, man. I mean, you can't beat that stuff. National Bank, member FDIC. Thanks to Larry Ramsey, the exclusive banking partner of BDST, and my exclusive banking partner for 35 years. I cannot recommend them enough. Every time there's something pops up, sometimes there's an issue, they take care of it immediately. It's just amazing how consistent they are. So if you ever get frustrated with your own bank, you should go to National Bank. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment is the presenting sponsor of this program. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet. We're going to work out some nice remotes here soon once we get warmer, doing the show from their maybe their headquarters. Just sit up there with Jonathan and do the show and get a good vibe. That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. But we thank them for all of their support. The Ready Set Fund, Bob Christ. Thank you, Bob. BOBCRIST at gmail or 11 at gmail.com. bobchrist11@gmail.com. ReadySetFund.com. Read about it. Find out how they use a text message program to make sure that you can have all the great things that you deem important. And you can raise all sorts of money. It's great stuff, man. So thanks to him. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 540-381-8011. The NRB Super Bowl, 25 years in business, 382-5525. Go do some weekend late night bowling. They've created a great environment in there. Get about 7 buds and go in there, a team of 8, have 4-on-4, and have a great time. Ryan Pry, the attorney, sponsor our BDST fan question of the week. And I'm trying to think of what would be a good fan question of the week. Anybody want to hit me up in chat? Give me a good fan question of the week. I'm drawing a blank. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Give them a call today. Probably need some heating advice here for the next couple weeks anyway. Make sure everything's good. And a little later on today, we're going to hear from Louise Baker when Mike Burnop comes on. Louise Baker, Team Long and Foster. We're going to recognize Louise at the Radford game coming up on Thursday night. It's final home game. Sponsor of Radford Athletics, Louise Baker. Brian Seigla going to join us here momentarily. Now, they were going to put together a 2-deep for Virginia Tech football. So we'll see what they came up with over on the Boundary Corner. Well, I thought about that one, Brandon. That's a good question. Does Virginia Tech make the tournament? I guess we could ask that. They win on Saturday. They might be back on the bubble. Yeah. Will Virginia Tech – there you go. We'll do that, Brandon. Does Virginia Tech make the NCAA tournament? We know there's games still to play, and there's the ACC tournament. Will they make the NCAA tournament? Will they be a team that plays itself back into at-large consideration? There you go. That's our question. Thanks, Brandon. I never knew a Steelers fan could come up with a good question. That's what we're going to go with. That's what we're going to go. Prometheus had it first? I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Let me go back here. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Prometheus. Should have known, Brandon. Should have known. You were stealing someone's material. Thanks, Prometheus. Will Virginia Tech make the NCAA tournament? That's our BDST Ryan Pry fan question of the week. Nope. See, the Raiders came through. Yeah, see, the Raiders on a roll right now. They're going to get Mendoza. They got the right coach. It's going to be disgusting as a Broncos fan. Not happy. You're going to be very good. You're going to be very good, I think. That's so sad. So, thanks, Marva. Marva's kitty passed away. I knew the kitty was new. I'm so sorry, Marva. Kitty was 5 months old, was playing with the kids, started getting sick, and the breathing got sporadic, and they took her to the vet immediately, but she passed away in the car. That is so sad. I am so sorry, Marva. If I'd have known, I never would have brought it up. Well, that is sad. Now we're getting a ton of text messages saying, no, Virginia Tech will not make the tournament. So very sorry, Marva. So very sorry. The first 8 text messages on the Professor Door text line, no, they will not make the tournament. Well, we'll see. Maybe Saturday changes that. What's up, Ryan Seigla? How are you?
How we doing, Rick? How we doing, Rick?
We're doing all right, man. Doing all right. These peeps are very down on Mike Young's program right now. Jeez.
You know, there wasn't a whole lot better commentary on Boundary Corner this past week when we were looking at the state of basketball. Now that you got a good win over the weekend.
Yep.
So a blowout win helps.
Does,
but
it does.
Looks like you're still in the next 4 out right now, so you got a whole lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it.
Got to win Saturday. Saturday's the must win. If they've had a must win to get back on the bubble consideration. You beat Carolina at home, who's undefeated. I know they don't have their superstar, but Carolina took care of business last night. If you can go down there and beat them, then watch out. Watch out. So
you put yourself back on the cusp, and you put yourself in a situation where if you can steal one more, you might not have to do a ton of work in the tournament.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, we'll see. Still some games left. UVA's a great chance too.
Yep.
All right. So
I don't know if I'm putting my stamp on it that it's going to happen. But.
No, we don't feel that confident. But I think we got a glimpse when Nito's actually involved in the game, which he was Saturday, how this team can be, right? And Mike Young still kind of. The thing is frustrating. I still don't understand why they just come out and just tell us if Tyler Johnson's going to play again or not. We keep getting the same thing. Well, he may be back this week. It's been going on for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. I don't understand.
Either he's in or he's out. At this point, you got to know.
I know. Yeah, at this point, you should know. It feels like there's something else going on there that we'll probably never be told about. But in any event, all right. So you guys were going to do your 2 deep. Did you get it done? You got to let us know. People's been wanting to know what you guys came up with on the boundary quarter with the 2 deep.
We got it done. I think it was a pretty successful exercise. There was some positions, usually kind of that last guy in was the biggest debate. I think we kind of know who the guys are going to be at most of these positions. It's really kind of where that depth comes in and who's making that cut, who's taking the step up. If it's a young guy taking a step up, is it some of the guys that have been brought in from elsewhere that may make a bigger impact? Probably wide receiver is where we had a lot of debate about who's going to kind of be in that second grouping. And that was probably the healthiest discussion that we had is someone like, Exeter going to step in there. What role does Takai Heath play with some of these other guys coming in, some of the youth, taking steps in the wide receiver room. So that was where probably the biggest discussion was there, and probably linebacker with some of the things we learned last week about that room. So it was a good discussion. I think everybody feels pretty good about it. Good reaction. Fans were chiming in and had their takes as well. So it was a good exercise.
Once you saw the names and you realized what you'd come up with, how did it make you feel about the roster and the depth? I know we hear all the names and you have all these kudos and all these star rankings that I couldn't care less about. But what did it make you feel when you sit there and you looked at it and you were like, all right, this does look pretty good, or still a lot of questions?
I think there are fewer position groups compared to last year that I have serious concerns about. So the depth has gotten better. I think the front end talent at a couple rooms has also gotten better. Particularly when you look at quarterback, when you look at offensive line, and when you look at defensive line to a point as well. I think what they were able to do with some of the edge pieces that they brought in, I think will be a net positive compared to what we were working with last year. The room that's still maybe giving me a little bit of hesitation is probably safeties. And I don't have a problem with the linebacker, like the front end linebacker play, but I'm maybe a little concerned about depth at that position as well. So that's really kind of where I landed. I think the biggest other flip when we talk about the defensive side is cornerback probably went from a liability to an asset in one cycle. You already were probably lighter than you wanted to be last year when you started the season. Then you had Dante Lovett opt out when Pry was fired. That room was super thin, and between the pieces that you brought in and some of the other young guys coming in and stepping forward, I think that's going to be a big asset for that defense this year.
Did you have Hawkins as number one tailback? How'd you have the running backs?
I personally had Overton 1A, Hawkins 1B. Only because
I like that. I like that.
I think Hawkins is a better third down back. He's a better pass catcher. He's probably a little bit better blocker at this point, but I think the explosiveness of Overton is just hard to ignore.
Well, I agree with you, and I think Dwight Vick would agree with you too, to be honest with you. What else? Let's see. What other positions? I'm trying to think. How about the defensive line? What'd you think about the defensive line when you looked at all those guys? It's always a big factor, you know?
Yeah, when we were looking at that, I think the biggest thing was we've got a lot of new faces coming in outside, right? Like all the edge guys are fairly new, whereas the guys on the inside are pretty entrenched. You got Copeland Laws, you got Elhash Fall that kind of is that tweener, can play, a big DN, but usually will probably be a 3 technique in most instances. And then you got Mensa coming in, who I think is going to probably have a pretty decent impact on the 2 deep right away. And then outside, it was kind of interesting because, you've got, I think, Sammy Sachs coming over from Colorado, Hilson. I think those two are going to be the front guys to look at. But then you got Abby and Ace and Stevens behind them that have seen some decent run. And a couple other young guys that could come on at that edge position as well. Derek Dandy's in that mix that he's seen some pretty decent run during his time with the Hokies. I think that's a room that has a good amount of depth. I think the front end is kind of set with what we did in the transfer portal. I think the question is going to be is how many who in that next run that have already been on this roster are going to kind of take that next step for us behind Abby and Stevens, who have probably seen the most run at this point.
Yeah. And what you said, I was just thinking, everybody in the country is dealing with it. A lot of your starting 22 is going to be from other places, implants coming maybe across the country. Like, you mentioned the Colorado kid. It seems like to me that the further we go along in this new era and the way things are, it'll become more normal. This feels like an NFL free agency thing when you leave one area and go to another. And how do coaches handle that? And it seems like James Franklin's one of those guys that was doing that already at Penn State, that he might be better equipped than a lot of coaches at being able to help guys get acclimated to a new part of the country, a new scheme, if you will, moving from one place to the other. I don't see it necessarily being as much of an issue for Tech as other places. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think when you look at the type of coach and the way that team is important, but at the same time, Franklin seems to be a very player-focused coach, but still brings the accountability piece that you have to have. And I think that's a perfect balance of what folks that are coming into a new setting need. They need someone that they know cares about them and what they're about, but also is going to give them those boundaries and those expectations that they need in order to be the best version of themselves. So I think that Franklin brings that type of personality and culture to Virginia Tech, and I think it's a good mix of being able to bring folks from different areas. And when he talked about just high school recruiting in general, he said we're going to recruit the footprint, but you've got to recruit nationally to be relevant in the college football playoff era.
Well, and plus he's coming to a new place.
You've got to be able to accept that.
The fact that he's coming to a new place, he's going to even have more sympathy and understanding about what these guys are going to, right? Because every day he's getting used to something new. So,
oh yeah, everything's new. Every day is different. You're still kind of taking in all the newness of the situation. So, it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like long term for us. But I think the short term benefits definitely are already showing through for us.
Did I see that John Love put his name in the draft? What did I see? Did I see that yesterday? Something about a kicker? Did one of the Tech kickers leave? Am I making that up?
I did not see that.
I saw something about somebody posted something that somebody was going to the draft. Maybe I'm wrong. I might just be wrong. but maybe somebody could see that. I am right. Yeah. So John Love, I saw his so long message that he put up. So he's been advised that if any kicker is going to be drafted, it might be him, or he might be one of the very few, and immediately land a pretty big deal in free agency to get a chance for a tryout. So it was Love. So there's a new development that we don't think about a whole lot with kickers, but who the hell else do they have? Did y'all go deep on the kicking situation? I mean, who do they have behind Love? If he's out the door, we may have to do some more things.
I'm pretty sure that Love is getting replaced by Love, if that's because his brother was in that.
His brother? Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I'm pretty sure that that's what we're looking at here.
Okay.
What's crazy is that, like, doing a search, I'm not even seeing anything about that. So I guess I'd have to dig into social media to even get a read on that.
Well, is his brother any good?
His brother was so good that he was basically part of the class, didn't do a walk on or anything like that. And I think he was the best kicker in the country, or at least in the top 3 for kicking prospects. I'd have to do a little deeper dive on that to refresh my memory, but man, that's a weird development.
Yeah, I just saw it. It was strange. I saw it and everybody's confirming it. Yeah, they saw it too. So maybe it won't be that big a deal, but you do have to come in and get it done, right? We see guys all the time, and here we are with these rankings and all this crap again with stars, and guys have to come and do it. And it's not easy, man. You got to come in and make big kicks. And that's what John Love, I guarantee that's what got NFL scouts' attention. That's a position they don't want to have to pay a lot of attention to. You bring the right guy in and you're going to make kicks, right? Okay, you're our guy. So he's gotten some advice that he wouldn't have done that unless he felt like, he had a pretty good chance to catch on somewhere. So good for him. Good for him. Love, and more love.
There we go.
And you're right. Chris Lester said he was, whatever that means, the number 1 kicker in the country. I don't call me skeptical. I don't pay any attention to any star rankings. I just think it's all ridiculous. But because most of these guys don't have any clue, and they haven't watched these guys, and they don't know football. They just sit around a computer. Oh, he got offered by Ohio State. Well, he's a 4-star. Trust me, that's what 90% of it is. I've talked to guys who have worked at those places. So,
oh yeah, it's all about number of scholarships and where they're coming from.
That's exactly right.
That's a big part of it.
Can they play?
And not only that, and subset of that, not only how many scholarships you were offered and where they're from, but which one of those are actually committable offers. That if you decide you want to go there, they're saying yes with no strings or anything attached. Whereas some of these guys might be further down a pecking order at their position group, or they're waiting to see how another player shakes out before you're officially in there. So yeah, it's an interesting exercise, this college recruiting for sure.
How'd you feel about the 8 offensive linemen? Well, I think you brought up a great point. As long as you can have 8, right? If you have some rotational guys, you feel pretty good that you're pretty deep on the offensive line. Was that something that got reasserted as you went through the 2 deep and so forth?
I think everyone would have liked to have one more guard. At least to raise that talent level and just to break that down a little bit. I think, we've heard some rumblings that Lucas Austin has had some injuries. I'm not sure how that's going to shake out with his availability. So we didn't even include him in this group. So you've got at guard, you got Cunningham, Ganem, Meadows. Meadows has also already been in a boot this offseason. He was injured all of 2025 and didn't really play for the season. He's been injured a lot. My concern at this point is that, a lot of these guys have been unavailable that we're going to have to count on at the guard position. So I'd like to see one more guard come in through the portal that could have pushed some of those first line guys a little bit more. I think we're as good at tackle as we've been since 2020. From a not necessarily a high-end talent perspective. I mean, there's not a Christian Darrisaw on this team.
Yeah.
But I think the depth that we have at that position, especially compared to where we were this time last year is significantly improved, to the point where your starting left tackle could potentially be a rotational piece in this offensive line this year, whereas he was kind of the guy on that line last year, outside of Altuner. So I'm very confident about where we are from a tackle standpoint, center standpoint. I feel a little sketchy about guard depth.
Well, these are good problems to have, though, right? I mean, this is a fun time. I know it's also a very nervous time for coaches because they have to put all this together. But I think it sounds like this is going to be kind of a fun part. New staff, putting all these puzzle pieces together as much as you can as you get ready to go into spring. How things start in spring likely won't be the way they end in spring, but it sounds like at least the options have really increased almost across the board at every position. So that's good.
Yeah, like I said, feeling good about most of these positions. We stood pat at safety in the portal. We had Reddish, Bass, Robinson, and Flowers as kind of being our four safeties there. So you got Reddish, feel pretty confident about, has had some injury issues. Bass can be a little suspect in pass coverage, but he will lay a lick on you. And then Robinson saw some run last year, and Flowers was kind of up and down in his time last year. So I mean, there's some guys that you feel okay about. Like you don't have any problem with them being out there on the field for extended snaps, but I would have liked to seen the talent in that room, that level get raised a little bit. So we'll see if they're able to coach them up. I know Coach Midget's back there, so you got a new guy working with that group, so that could reap some benefits as well.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's fun to be able to talk optimistically about things coming off a 3-9 season. A lot of programs can't say that,
That's true.
So a lot of programs will be going, oh boy, 3-9, here we go. What's it going to look like? Nobody seems to be focused on that. It's all about the future. So did you come up with a number on the show? Did you come up with a number of wins just looking at the talent level? Did y'all go to that distance, or is it too early yet still with the schedule?
We didn't go that distance, but I don't have a problem putting my stamp. I think this could be a 7-win team. I don't know that we're going to take, that a big step like that to get into the 8 or 9 win area this year. I think this is kind of a transition year for this team. I think when you look at the way that Franklin has built this roster with a lot of guys with 2+ years of eligibility left, that they've been brought in the transfer portal, the way that kind of reset the 24 and 25 classes. Meanwhile, you got a really good 26 class coming in. I think that 26 is going to be kind of that transition year, but it'll be a year where you kind of see the vision. And then 27 is when you start stacking some wins. So I think you at least get a bowl this year. I think maybe 7 wins would be a reasonable goal for this team. If they do better, that's great. That means you're probably a year ahead of where you want to be. But I think 7 is a reasonable number with the schedule that we have.
I think that's fair. And as much as the bowls don't matter, that still for this year only feels like, if you go back to a bowl, you can look at that as a benchmark. I mean, the playoff and the way that's been handled has destroyed the bowls. But, I get what you're saying. If you go to one and play in one, at least it's showing progress, and it's showing that you had a winning record. So for this year, absolutely, 100%. I agree with that.
And I'm not saying 8 or 9 is off the table, but I'm at a point now where I need to see more before I start, putting all my chips in a win bucket.
Sure. No, and plus, we need to see more from the other teams in the league. There are question marks too. The same question marks Tech have in many places, right? I mean, It's just we don't know. It's so much harder now. When we get Phil Steele back on the show, I'm going to have to ask him, how in the world do you go about doing your job now? How in the world how has that changed your preparation?
That's a lot of flip every year.
It is. And it's going to be like that way going forward. Don't fall in love with the roster ever, because it's not going to stay the same anywhere in the country. So that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
You're looking at least flipping between graduation, Early departures for the NFL and transfer portal flipping over half your roster most years.
Yeah, exactly. Morris is being facetious. Anyway, well, good stuff, man, and a good rundown. I know people enjoyed that. And are you guys on this week? You taking a little time off?
Taking a week off. We'll probably be back in the next week or so. Still kind of mapping out how we want to handle some of these off-season episodes until we kind of get into the meat of when spring practice kicks off and the lead up to the spring game. But yeah, we're gonna probably be, if not next week, the week after that, we'll be live again talking a little Hokie sports. Hopefully we'll have some good news about how the Fighting Mike Youngs rallied at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's right. Who knows? Who knows, man? That's what mid to late February is all about, separating teams. So here we go.
Right.
We'll see.
That's right.
We'll see. All right, brother. Well, great stuff as always. Tell all the guys Rick said hey.
Will do, man. Have a good one. Appreciate
it. Keep up the great work,
Rick.
All right, man. Take care, man. Be good. Brian Seigla from the Boundary Corner. Good stuff. Good stuff from him. Hit us up on the Professional Door Incorporated text line. Also, hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. I think they're pretty set at quarterback, Brandon. Sip your Mai Tai and take a deep breath, Morris. Morris is funny. So there you go. He's got his 7 wins. Yeah, and I think it's just so unknown, and we'll see. I'm not even really worried about the unknown about Tech right now. I'm just thinking about, we don't know anything about anybody in the ACC. And this league got flipped upside down last year with Duke and Virginia playing in the championship, right? Nobody had that. Many people, like Andy Bitter said, had Wake Forest dead last. They won 9 games. He should have gotten Coach of the Year in the ACC. So I don't know what anybody's going to look like and how things go get through the spring. You get a better idea about your own roster. And most teams will have a much better idea about how they're going to look. But situation like Duke, right? You didn't expect to lose your quarterback like that. You thought you had agreed to a deal with him and he was going to stay and you were going to have that position secure. And you may have even had the best quarterback on paper coming back in the league. But now he's taken his whatever, that the reports are true, upwards of $6 to $7 million from Miami. Yeah, exactly, TLB. I don't know. I don't know how these guys are going to come in and play. You don't know. It's what Todd Grantham's talking about. You get them through workouts. You try to shake them out and see what you got, and you hope that what you invested in pays off. But who knows? That's why it's got to be tough for Phil Steele and anybody who's trying to put out magazines previewing the sport at this point. Yeah, 100%. But nothing, this sounds like a cop-out, and I don't mean it that way, because I will make a prediction on the schedule. But nothing would surprise me. Like, you could see Tech being just what Brian said they were going to be. 7-win team, 7-5, make some pointless bowl, but at least they made a bowl. You could see them exceeding that. Guys immediately come in, they pick up the offense, they get acclimated to one another. The coaching staff has to come in and be cohesive. That's another thing people don't talk about enough. And they could get up to 8, 9 wins, 10. Who knows? Who knows? Or they could go the other way. They could get upset early in some of these games, right? They could fall and look bad, and then all of a sudden that snowballs. I mean, and I know that sounds like it's an easy thing to say, and it is, but I just don't know yet. Well, as we get more information coming out of the spring, we'll kind of get a better idea. But we don't know. And the thing is, nobody knows. Nobody knows. I think Kurt Signetti doesn't know. What is he now? 20, whatever he is, 27-2, national champions. He's probably wondering the same thing. So I'm just saying it's not unique to Blacksburg. It's not unique to Charlottesville. It's not unique anywhere. Right now, everybody's going through the same stuff, and this is where coaches now have to change their MO. Everything that's been done can't be the same anymore. And those who adapt do well. Those who don't either end up getting out of the business or they get fired. So in any event, yeah. Wayne says maybe build momentum early with the games is the goal and hope. I guess so. And that was behind the whole VMI, decision, the JMU decision. So, yeah, I mean, you should be able to get off to a decent start. And again, Maryland. I know Maryland's got a lot of new players. That's one I don't know. Feels like Loxley, this is his make or break year. That whole thing was strange. Remember, there were reports that he got fired. Then they said, no, we didn't fire him. We brought him in, we talked to him, and then we decided to give him another shot. Things are a mess. Seems like things are a mess at College Park. It really does kind of feel like it. So, yeah, Old Dominion lost a lot. I know they feel good about who they brought in, but they had a lot of guys get poached. And kudos to Ricky Ronnie. It shows you the kind of talented team he had last year that so many guys went elsewhere for bigger paydays. And he, why he's successful? I saw him react to that, and he just said, you know what? That's just the way it is. Kind of like what Todd said. You know what? We know we're a feeder program. If we get them in here and we develop and they end up making a better life for themselves the way things are right now, they need to leave here. We have honest conversations here. We get it. And we'll go out and we'll try to replicate it. I thought that was a pretty healthy response in this day and age. And it makes even more sense when you hear a coach like that say those things, why he ended up staying as a head coach. And I thought that was going to be the case when all the rumors and people were acting as if he was just naturally going to come join James Franklin. I never bought it. And I said it here on the program. I said, you got to keep in mind, that's his program, man. He's built it from nothing into Division I. So good for him. Yeah, on the surface it is Prometheus, but then again, they paid him more than offered him more than anybody else. I mean, I've heard $3 million is what is going around. And you know what? He clearly, a kid like that going to Wisconsin, clearly, he just went to where he was going to make the most money. But, yeah, I get what you're saying. It kind of felt like he'd go to a power school more in the Southeast or something. I don't know, TLB. Maybe somebody knows. Does anybody know? Are Tech season ticket sales up, down? Brandon, you would know. You work over there. What's the I would assume they're up. I know the prices went up, but I would assume they're up with Franklin being here. I don't know. I think Brandon works over there in the marketing office. He could tell us. Is Brandon still here? Are you still with us in chat, Brandon? My guess would be that they are up. That would be my guess. Thanks to Family Fencing. Free quote, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrv.com, sponsor of our studio here in Ryan. Appreciate them. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley. Now, I really need him now. My back being messed up. It's going to be good timing when I get over there in March and go through the machinery. Sponsor of our chat room. Thanks so much, Marco. We're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. I had someone come up to me and goes, every time I'm around any of those guys and I hear about what's going on, people don't even know what kind of an impact that Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment is going to have. They're just scratching the surface, and that's got to be exciting for that office and for everybody around. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. BDST fan question of the week from the attorney Ryan Pry. Again, will Tech make the NCAA tournament? We're going to use Brandon's question. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this program and yours truly. Talked about Travis Williams, everybody Professional Door Incorporated. Thanks so much, Trav. Sponsor of our text line, 38 years in business. Text line pops literally every day. ReadySetFund.com. Thanks to Bob Christ 11 at Gmail. And go to ReadySetFund.com and find out how you can raise money pretty quickly for your team, your organization through a series of text messages. It's crazy. It's great stuff. If you want a BDST shirt, hit me up. Thanks to Brandon from Top Shelf Apparel in Pulaski. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. They've been doing it since 1997, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, and the NRB Super Bowl. They always announce their Bowler of the Week. 25 years. They've been in business, 382-5525. They've got the nighttime weekend bowling. And that's what we're going to have. Whenever we do our meetup, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have it. You can't disclose whether they're up or down. Why? You can't just go thumbs up or thumbs down. Why is that like forbidden information? Do they not allow any information out of there? Well, he's telling people to call and get your tickets today, so they're not sold out by any stretch. Yeah, the schedule isn't good enough. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So there you go. I like the way you work the commercial in, Brandon. I like the way you work your own commercial in. That's pretty good. I got you. We've reached out to Tech to try to get Megan Duffy on. Talked to Brian Cox yesterday, so we'll keep you posted about that. I think the ladies have played themselves definitely into an at-large berth, and who knows what they could do in the ACC tournament. So it's not for lack of trying. So we had Mike Young on, so we'd like to get Megan on and talk about her team. So we'll see. Hopefully that'll happen soon. I'll keep you posted. Yeah, there's still tailgate parking. Yeah, absolutely. You go through a game day over there, they still have people have now just embraced it, and they put their signs in the yard. Hey, like everything else, the cost is going up to park in their yard. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, did Penn State change any of their schedule? Like, I don't know what Matt Campbell could have changed that late. Like, that schedule was already there, right? So that was a James Franklin schedule, probably. Unless there was an announcement that they brought in new teams. I don't know. Like, you can't – like, Tech couldn't flip their schedule in 1 year. That's why they decided once they went to 9 – it was a unique situation for everybody in the ACC because they went to 9 games, so you had to pick one to let go. So, and Tech chose JMU over VMI. But Penn State's schedule's been set for a while, right? What is their schedule? I don't even know. No idea. I don't spend much time thinking about Penn State football. Let's see here. Penn State 2026 football schedule. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Well, they got Marshall at Temple, Buffalo, and then they got their Big Ten schedule. Yeah, that's not a very challenging non-conference schedule, to say the least. And the way their conference schedule sets up, Maryland, Rutgers, Minnesota, Washington will be tough. Purdue, at Michigan, USC, okay. All right, at Northwestern, Wisconsin. Yeah, the three, you're right, Prometheus. The three in the non-conference, not necessarily the most challenging, daunting schedule. So there you go. So they got a shot to have pretty good season. Pretty good season. Yeah, I hate that. I don't understand the scheduling. You know, ACC's found out the hard way. I know they rotate that. But, yeah, how do you avoid all three of those? How do you avoid the big three? I guess Indiana's part of the big three now, right? How does that happen? I would say the Washington game's going to be a tough game for them on the road. At Washington, that's going to be a tough game. Yep. TLP, last game I attended was 1996 versus West Virginia. Played $20 for parking. Yeah, I don't know what the going rate is. The parking people's yard. I know it's gone up. It's going way up. In those areas over there. And I think by this point, there's probably relationships people have built over the years. Like they've used those yards or know those people. So it's just assumed. You think they call ahead now? Hey, you're going to take your spot this year? Like they do at season tickets. Hey, you're going to renew your parking ticket for us this year? Okay, great. If not, we got people who want it. So just let me know. Yeah, the conferences do a lousy job. And so I guess the only adjustment was when all these leagues announced 9 games, you had to drop somebody. Right? But yeah, the conferences don't do – I mean, it's strange how some schools seem to – the way the random rotation works. The ACC needs to fix theirs. They did after they had the initial disaster of the 3 annual opponents, and everybody immediately was like, no, this doesn't work. None of this makes sense. They ditched that pretty quickly. But it just goes back to anybody who's making any decision, even scheduling decisions, you can't really give any. It's just like, why would you give them any credibility? All right? Everybody who makes a decision in college athletics seems to be making the wrong decisions or no decisions at all. And so, yeah, the schedules are uneven. There's no doubt. Just like Tech's schedule this year in the ACC. I mean, it's on paper. Again, not knowing about the current teams, it's very difficult. All that travel, they got a lot of travel. And that won't be cheap. I mean, if it cost $1.1 million to go to Stanford 2 years ago, imagine what it's going to be 2 years later, going to California, play the Bears, going to SMU, pack up a whole football operation. I bet you it's twice that now. My grandfather, Arthur Stowers, grew up on Harold Street behind the stadium. Why, I asked, I didn't inherit that space. Guess I need to have a spiritual conversation with my aunt now in heaven. Tear it up tomorrow. Agreed, Tebow. Agreed. That's why I just go back. And now I think the power leagues, the only thing I can come up with is that we're being lied to about numbers. Like, we saw these schools opening their books saying how much they're losing, yet they just keep spending. And I don't understand how any business, and these universities are businesses, how they can keep functioning that way. I don't. So which is it? Are you losing money left and right? Or are the endowments so big that it's offsetting all this debt that you're claiming that you have? I don't know. I don't think we're getting. And is this just a way that they're all getting together and trying to get people to donate more money? Is this just a ploy? I mean, you look at the endowments as opposed to what we're told schools are losing. I mean, what's truth and what's fiction? Right? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I just have, questions like everybody else. I'm sorry here. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah, I agree, Prometheus. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can guarantee that. I don't know how you can guarantee the best two teams play with that difference. I know. I think that's what the ACC ran into. I don't know, man. None of it seems to make any sense. None of it seems to make any sense. Matt Roan scheduled to join us here, the director of athletics at James Madison, just a second. There we go. I'll let him know the invite's sent. And then Mike Burnop here today. So we got a lot going on today. Yeah, I think the conference championship games are going to be looked at. They're pointless. Unless all of a sudden they start saying, hey, these are going to make sure you are guaranteed to be in the playoff. So, Broncos need playmakers. They need a starting caliber running back, and they need a good tight end, and they need a receiver. They need playmakers at every spot other than quarterback who they have that they need to give him some help. They don't really have a number one receiver. Cortland Sutton is as number two. That is the Broncos' number one. He's not really a number one. They drafted the kid last year out of Toledo, running back. He's not going to be that guy. He's a good complimentary back. And they haven't had a pass-catching tight end. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's been a long time. Probably since Peyton Manning's rookie year. Probably since Peyton Manning's record-setting 2012 year, his first year in Denver. So they got to get playmakers at all three of those spots. Fortunately, two of them are pretty deep. So we're always very deep when Matt Roan joins us, the director of athletics at James Madison. What's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Chilly up here this morning. How about you?
Well, let me tell you, we're at 17 degrees. So now we're up to 18 and it feels like 8. So yeah, we concur. We concur.
Good to see you.
Well, how things with you? Good to see you, man. Things settling down a little bit, especially football-wise. How's Coach Napier getting acclimated with all the new guys?
We have 62 of them, plus about 36 new staff, right? So what is that? 98 new faces that'll be in the building either now or this summer when our last of our high school signees join us. But I think he's put together, first and foremost, right? We went very deliberately and put together a really good staff. And again, I think that total number of staff members that he hired was 36. And so a lot of turnover there, but we were able to retain 2 key pieces off the previous staff that we're excited about. I think that helps in terms of sustaining the culture, the expectations of the program, just how we do things around here. And then, signed 62 players. Feel like we've gotten talent at every single position group. And so as I'm learning, right, from him, how he does his off-season program, right, phase 1 was really a lot of the testing, the metrics, really getting after it in the weight room on the field. Now we're getting into kind of this phase 2, which is the pre-spring ball phase, where we're starting to teach more, introduce, implement concepts and kind of scheme into it. And so we're going to blink and we're going to be in phase whatever is September the 5th and that first home football game here. But yeah, I mean, I can't say enough positive things about him, what he's brought to the program, how he's helped modernize us in a lot of ways, and the fact that he's still about the things that this place is about. And that's, first and foremost, our players having a phenomenal experience, but that competitive desire to win and win big.
And that presents a lot of challenges for you, doesn't it? Administration, just because, like you said, everybody's got to get acclimated now. So many new people to the JMU way of doing things.
Yeah, it's the great thing about this place is, I think I heard him say of our roster, right, we'll have, I think of the 40 some that we were able to retain, 3 will be 4-year players, 3 will be 3-year players. I'm going to probably butcher this last 2, but like 15 will be 2-year players by the time we get to next fall, and 20 some will be first-year players, just that kind of case that'll just be coming back for their second year. And so that helps tremendously. Having people who have been in the locker room, who understand this campus, this community, I think understand the magnitude of the program's expectations. Billy tells me a lot, right? Every single player that he meets with throughout this phase 1 and now kind of getting into this phase 2, when he asks them, what makes this place great? What can we do better from a program standpoint? He's having these conversations with them. They all respond, about the fact that they want to succeed for these fans and again, for this community. And so that helps tremendously, right? When you're talking about culture of excellence, there's nobody better to carry that forward than the players, right? Administrators come and go, coaches will come and go. But if you have continuity on the roster and, some stability there, and it doesn't sound like 40 some players is a lot of stability, but it is for us, right? It's the new norm for us over the last several years. That's helped a lot.
Good question from Brandon in chat. And I was going to ask a similar question, but the support with the success that you've had with the transition with the head coach of the football program, how does that get your expectations bolstered up even more for the Giving Day and so forth?
Yeah, I think it certainly changes our goals. I'll point to we had board meetings a couple weeks ago, and we did a little bit of a snapshot about where we are year over year compared to where we were in fiscal year 25 and 24 and 23 and so on. And, it was just a couple years ago, I think fiscal year 23, really, which was really the last of the that was the first of the FBS transition years. 24 was the second. And obviously 25 was our first full year. Now 26, we're second full year. We were at 5,000 total donors. We're already at 10,000 this year with 6 months to go. we're about $1,100,000, $1,200,000 over where we were year over year this time in terms of overall fundraising. So everything trends up, right? People want to buy more tickets. People want to give more. Businesses want to participate more with us. You might have seen we put some stuff out just talking about the impact of the advertising value of that CFP for us, right? So it was $300 million worth of advertising value, us playing in that game. I think, and my communications team might tell me something different, but that didn't include the subsequent rounds where they're talking about us and when Indiana was playing and they're talking about Coach Signetti and the players. But just related to our appearance in that tournament, $300 million of advertising value, and so every metric and every number, best we can tell, is skyrocketing right now.
Well, that's good. That's very interesting. I mean, I thought about that too. You can't put the kind of money into that kind of advertising, but you sure as heck will accept the result.
We'll reap the benefit. That's exactly right.
Have you talked to Coach Chesney much now that he's out in Westwood? Does he still chime in from time to time?
I had talked to him. It's kind of funny. So we talked probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then we talked again last week. Last week was a little bit more brief. When I talked to him several weeks ago, he was doing the awards show circuit. Right? He's getting out and he's seeing recruits in Hawaii and Seattle, and he had been different places when I was talking to him. So he was racking up his mileage there. Last week when I talked to him, he was actually back in town. I will say, him and Coach Napier, their relationship has really been phenomenal as well, right? Billy's talking to him about, what to expect in the Big Ten, right? Coming from his experience in the SEC. Bob's telling him things that he thought gave us an edge and a different, we're difference makers here. But when I talked to Bob, we laughed. So he had came in for his daughter's field trip, but he didn't know where that field trip was going to be. And it just so happened that field trip that day was taking a tour of the stadium. So the former head football coach was on a field trip with his daughter taking a tour of our stadium last week. So we got a kick out of that. But no, it's for all of us, right? We care a lot about him. I know he cares a lot about this place and us, and I want him to be successful. He wants us to be successful. And even though he's going to be wearing light blue and gold now, we'll pull for him and know he's going to do really good things out there.
How does he seem to be getting acclimated to the California life? Did he mention all that? It's got to be, man, you're stepping into a time machine there from one coach to the next.
He, I think he likes it, right? He, one of the things that we talked about, or several of the things that I guess we talked about throughout the course of the fall as he was, receiving offers and considering offers was, Bob likes, I don't want to say city life, right? But I think he enjoys the access to different things, right? The conveniences. One of the things that we talked about there was the access that he would have to, Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers. Some of the alums that are in and around UCLA in that valley there. Just the access that he would be able to have to grow as a coach, right? The resources that are available to him there. So I think he's embracing it. He's loving that 70-degree weather. I think every day, while it's like you're saying in the teens here and the low 20s here. But no, he'll do a really good job. And that place, I will say, and I'll brag on him for a second, just like here, what Bob was able to do here was to harness that academic and athletic excellence didn't have to be exclusive of one another. And what he's going into out there is a phenomenal academic institution, one of the best in the world that he's going to try to restore into a football powerhouse. And if anybody's capable of doing it, he'll do a good job out there.
Yeah. And the difference for him is he already had a great culture there, because of Coach Signetti and what you were there. He's got to create it out there because they don't care anything about football right now, UCLA. So that's something he's got to try to create. It's going to be interesting to see how he absorbs that challenge. It really is. So we'll see. I don't know. So what do you do now in the spring, getting ready for spring ball? What do you got going on? You got the fundraisers coming up. You got the basketball teams finishing up here soon to get into the conference tournaments. Spring sports are blossoming. It never ends. It never ends.
So we, you do have a little bit of time to catch your breath a little bit more. We'll have 2 doubleheaders here this week. That'll wrap up the regular season in basketball, and both are, I think, playing their best basketball at this time.
Yeah, they are.
So we're hopeful that our women's team can get a top 4 seed, which really puts us automatically into the semifinals. I'm hoping with 2 wins this week, our men can be on that 5-6 line, which means you only have to win, and I say only, you only have to win 4 games in 4 days, but that's a whole lot better than 5-5, 6-6, and so on. But I think we've figured out some lineup things on the men's side. Guys are playing really good defense. We're not turning the ball over. Some guys are stepping up and emerging late in February. So feel really good about that. But we'll head to we'll take it on the road to Pensacola. So our men's and women's tournaments are at the same site at the Pensacola Bay Center down in Florida. So we're there, I think, March the 2nd, 3rd through the 9th. Hopefully we don't have to be there that long, but hopefully we get to stay for the duration. We'll see what happens with that, but we're wrapping up all our other winter championships this week. And then, it's full go with spring, right? And with lacrosse, with baseball, softball, it is a busy time of year. Tennis, golf, there's always something to go to, it feels like. But then we'll start getting cranked up in terms of planning and preparing for next year already. We'll be releasing a football schedule here pretty soon with the conference. And then, it's the circuit like you talked about. We'll be hitting the road. We're actually bringing our what we call our coaches caravan, our Duke Club coaches caravan. We're doing 4 stops in 4 cities this year, and maybe this is a nod to me, but one of those stops is gonna be in the southwest part of the state, down in Roanoke this year. So we're gonna stop in Roanoke for that, and I couldn't get them to come any further down. They're coming for me. But no, we're excited about the spring, and hopefully get a couple winter championships, get a few spring championships, and put a bow on this academic year, and then wash, rinse, and repeat, and get ready to do it all over again next year.
Well, you'd be really proud of what Pulaski County is becoming under Pulaski County Sports Entertainment, man. What things they're doing, the partnership with IHRA. I mean, when you get back here, you're going to really appreciate what those folks are doing. It reminds me a lot of the mindset that you have down at JMU.
Yeah.
Where there's, why not? I love that question. Why not? Why does it have to be why? Why not? Why can't we do this? And that's kind of what's going on here now. And let me ask you real quick here before we let you go. Everything you've gone through now, national, prominence, you're playing in the playoff. You had to go in and find a coaching change at the most important position in athletics. How has it enhanced you daily now as you think back now, this is something else now I have done here as I continue my career as an athletic director? I think that's pretty cool.
That's a great question. I don't know if I've ever thought about it that way, right? I try. What I love about my job and what I get to do is really, I guess, maybe the versatility of it. A coaching change is significant. There's pressure with it. But sometimes it's what you have to do, right? Being as busy as we were hosting a Sunbelt Championship game to 2 weeks later going to Eugene and playing in the CFP. It's busy, but it's something we got to do, right? I mean, that was a privilege. Somebody asked me yesterday, I was meeting with a student, and they were doing kind of this looking into college athletics administration as a career. And they said, what has been the most rewarding part of your entire career? And I said, it's hard to beat the CFP, right? So, I think for me, I think we executed on those 2 things really well, right? Going back to the coaching search. I thought our process was almost flawless, and it led us to the right result. We didn't get the result that we wanted in the CFP, right? We wanted to advance, we wanted to compete. But I thought we represented our institution, our community, specifically our football program, and what it's about on a global stage, about as well as we possibly could have hoped. So I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish there. But I will say for me, for us, it's, what's next. It's always, how can we do better? What else can we accomplish? And Rick, you'll never hear me. And I think this is kind of where I come from. It's never anything that I do. It's always a we, us. It's about our team. because I've never accomplished one thing that's worthwhile or worth anything on my own. So I'm very, very proud of the efforts of the staff around me, the coaches, certainly our student athletes, the people who pour into this place, who invest in it, who give us an edge over our competition. But yeah, with them and for them, what can we do next? How do we get back to the CFP, right? How do we get into the NCAA tournament this winter? It's doing everything that we possibly can, and harnessing and leveraging all of that success to build buildings and to grow this program as best we possibly can.
Well, it's a great attitude to have, and I can't imagine it going any more seamlessly as it seemed to on the outside looking in with everything you had going on, man. And that's kudos to you, my friend, and your staff.
I appreciate it. Hey, before I jump off here, though,
yeah,
little birdie told me, I felt like you tried to bait me last time I was on here, but little birdie told me that you do a phenomenal Coach Hicks impersonation. So
I do.
I got to hear this pretty soon.
Well, I will. I'll tell you what. Next month, I'll work it up for you. And I'll go through a scenario. The first time it really stood out to me when I was a sophomore and made travel team, and when he was trying to explain to me when I was on the scout team what I needed to do to replicate a Salem receiver. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
And I was thinking about it the other day. Again, that same interview that I was doing with this young man yesterday, they talked about how playing college football kind of shaped my interest in higher ed and college athletics administration. To me, it started before college football, right? It was coaches with the Dublin Cowboys and Dublin Chiefs.
Yeah.
It was certainly Coach Hicks. But when I mentioned Coach Hicks, he had a way. Obviously, when he spoke, you listened, but you had no choice, right? Because they put you in these lockers with these metal cages on each side of you. When he was fired up, there was nowhere to escape.
Nope.
And you just had to sit there and take it. There's no doubt. You had to sit there and take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to leave your helmet on so people can't see how scared you are.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, we'll see you next month. And congratulations again, man, on everything. It's great.
I appreciate you and everything that you do for that area.
All right, brother. You take care of yourself. Stay safe. All right,
Thank you, man.
Be good. There you go. It's Matt Rome, Director of Athletics at James Madison. Terrific stuff, man. Just terrific stuff. Always enjoy our comments, our conversations. It's just so great to have so much positivity in this day and age. It's much needed. It's much, much needed, and it's much appreciated. And I don't know, and we're not on the inside, and I know there's a lot of work that went into it, but it looked very, very seamless, everything that went on with everything he had going on, as you just said. You're in the college playoff. You know you're losing your coach. He had known for a couple months he was going to lose his coach, and who are you going to hire? And then he had that search, and then he finds what seems like the perfect fit in Billy Napier. It's awesome. It's awesome. So in any event, great to always talk. Yeah, I'll have to work that up for him. I want to get the right scenario for him, to do the Coach Hicks in person. I did it once for Coach Hicks too, and he laughed. And when he laughs and you do something like that means that's pretty special. That's pretty special. We got to hang out in the studio one day when he was on my radio show. This was probably 2021, before he passed, and we did all that, and I did the impersonation for him, and he laughed. He got a kick out of it, so it made me feel good. I think about that moment with Coach very often in the studio. He is greatly missed. Joel Hicks. Just as Matt was talking about. So joining us now on the program, 43 years he has been part of the Tech Radio Network. He's Mike Burnop. What's up, Mike? Well, good to see you, man. Good morning.
Good morning, Rick. How are you doing this week?
Doing all right, man. Hanging in there. I hate this cold. I'm tired of it. I hate we had to reprieve. It sucks, but
Hey, you could be up north in the northeast, man.
Oh, I know. Is it 1.5 feet? Is that what I've heard people saying? It's like crazy.
Some people got like 2 and 3 feet.
Oh,
someplace in Vermont, I think, got Rhode Island got 4 feet, and we were trying. We played Wake Forest Saturday, and they had to go play Boston College, and he was thinking that they might move that game to Winston, because of going up there and trying to travel in that mess. So I don't know whatever happened with that deal. I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow night, but yeah, what a mess. Good time not to be.
Thank you.
Heading up that way.
Yeah, thank goodness you don't have a game at BC this weekend.
Ooh, boy.
Or tomorrow or something like that. Yeah.
Hardly anybody goes to those anyway, so that would really be that would be a seat out. All you see is a bunch of seats.
It would. Yeah, nobody in there. Mike Burnop joining us, courtesy of Louise Baker, Long and Foster Realtors. Well, let's talk about the big impressive win on Saturday. Had to have it. Nito finally came out of his slump a little bit. Shows you the potential of this team, right? And Tech, and now they got a big one coming up on Saturday against Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's really good. They had a nice win last night over Louisville on the big Monday game, and it'll be a handful. Caleb Wilson's probably still out, but they got the big guy back, Visar, so he's good. But they'll have to play really well down there. And that was one of those games, Rick, that was a 6:30, 8:30 slide, and for whatever reason, we got lucky and got the 8:30. So
of course,
that'd be a late night caffeine special down in Chapel Hill, and a really early morning getting back. So yeah, but Neo did play well. He played 35 minutes or something, I think, and had 17 points and 7 assists. Didn't turn the ball over. Shot the ball well. He made 4 threes. I think that's the most they said he made since sometime in December. So, yeah, he did play well. And they need him to play well down the stretch. And hopefully he can get Tyler Johnson back. They thought, Mike Young told us Thursday on the radio show, he might play 5 minutes against Wake Forest Saturday, but he didn't. And, he's probably still trying to work through that. But, he had a week off this week because there's no midweek game. And so hopefully Tyler will be ready to get a few minutes in anyway Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be another piece that could maybe put things back together. And obviously you got to win that game to try to get back into the conversation of the tournament. And you've got one more chance at UVA. So there are some chances ahead for this team, right, to kind of play themselves back into a decent position.
Heck yeah, you got 2 chances against 2 top 15, top 20 teams, right? And both of them, unfortunately, are on the road. But, yeah, you got some chances to do that. And you're sitting there now with, 18 wins. So you got to somehow get in those low 20s. And, if you could win a couple of those and win a couple in the tournament, you might have a shot. The problem is, Rick, you look at the net, and the Hokies were, 55, 58, something like that going into the game. So, when you're only taking 60-some teams, right, and you got all those automatic buys from the tournament winners, that doesn't leave you a lot of room for error. And so, yeah, you got to make some noise for sure if you want to try to get in.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I have no idea what they take into consideration anymore. They can say certain aspects of it, but who knows? When you talk to Coach Young this week, I mean, I know he's got to be frustrated, but at the same time, he knows that this team probably still has a chance to play its best basketball, right? How's his mindset been so far?
Well, I think he's excited about getting Tyler back. If he could get him back, that'd be the first time he had a whole team since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that would help. But he understands the situation. And, those 4 games that they lost on buzzer beaters and last seconds, they're killers because you could be sitting there now with 22 wins and you don't have it. So the script would be a whole lot different. The narrative would be. So, yeah, you just it is what it is. You got to try to steal a couple of these on the road. And don't let Boston College slip up and get you, and then try to make a little noise in the tournament. And then you just kind of got to wait and see what happens. It's like Auburn. Auburn's got a terrible record, right? But their net was like in the 20s or something.
I saw that. Yeah.
That was kind of crazy. But who knows? It's going to be interesting to see. And I know they talked too about there's another tournament in Las Vegas, I guess, after the I think it's after the NIT selection is done too, that they take 16 teams out to Vegas for some tournament. So that could be another option for this team maybe down the road.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So do they still have both the CIT and the CBI, or did that Vegas tournament replace one of them? I don't even know.
It may have, I don't know, Rick. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there'd be a lot of interest in doing that anyway, but you never know. You don't want to get in a situation where you're going to lose money, right? Having to travel or whatever. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. And, the team probably will get a vote in it too. Just look what happened in Notre Dame in the football season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You never
picked
know.
Up their ball and went home. Yeah, they just picked up their ball and went home. Yeah, yeah.
I'm out of here.
Thanks to Louise Baker. Yeah, I'm done. Louise Baker Team Long and Foster Realtors, 540-320-0382. So we know where basketball is sitting, and we know the term it's going to be. Duke, yeah, that was huge. Does it help teams like Tech? I know the net's been way up this year for the ACC, but they get that win over Michigan, and all of a sudden everybody's talking about Duke. It can just show you it can only enhance, right, some of these teams in the ACC and their prognosis, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was a heck of a win. What a game that was. Man, oh, man, you talk about a Final Four feel to a game. And it was physical. It was tough. Duke kind of got them at the end, and they're just a handful. And you look at Duke. I mean, they lose that one game to Carolina by a point, right, with a buzzer beater, and then they lost one early in the season to Texas Tech by 1 or 2. So they could certainly be undefeated, and I think they'll challenge for the national championship. You know, they got a heck of a team with a lot of height, and Boozer's incredible. Cameron, his brother, ain't bad either, right? So, yeah, they got a great shot, and I think that did help the league for sure.
Is that the best team you've seen all year? I mean, I know it sounds like a silly question, but is Duke probably the best team hands down you've seen this year?
I think they're one of them for sure. You know, Arizona's really good too. Houston had their run, but they're kind of like on a little bit of a slide now. But yeah, I mean, I think they are. They're good. Michigan, obviously, they're really good too, and they're deep. And so, that wouldn't be surprised if I didn't see those two again in the Final Four.
Everybody seems to be happy with how the new guys are coming in, the football team and so forth, getting their workouts in. So we don't hear a lot, but it feels like everybody's kind of happy with what they're seeing so far.
Yeah, it's been kind of quiet, which is good. They're just doing their morning workouts, and I think they're going well. And here soon they're going to be on spring break, and they'll come right back at it, get a few more workouts in, and start spring practice. I think the start date is maybe March 17th.
Okay.
But I'm not positive on that. And then they're still trying to pub the spring game to get a full house in there to get a feel for what the fall might look like and get the kids experience, coaches experience, communication from press box to the field and all those little things, get that stuff worked out. So, yeah, I think it's going okay. And everybody's positive, upbeat, looking forward to it, excited. And I think it's going to be fun. Watch spring practice.
Well, it is. And, we already have a lot of people asking about, hey, how's this team going to do? Who knows, right? We don't know. They have to put the puzzle pieces together just like everybody else in the conference across the country. I don't envy anybody who has to kind of make predictions early now because we don't know what anything's going to look like. And with Tech, you got a brand new staff. Like you mentioned, the coaching staff's got to be cohesive. There's a lot of things that still have to be developed.
Yeah, that's it. And I was talking to Stan Cotton, the voice of Wake Forest. And
yeah.
I said, how you guys going to be in football? They had a pretty good year.
They did.
And he said, yeah, we had some good pieces of the puzzle. They had some experience at quarterback. And he said, but now, we got a whole new bunch of guys in there. We don't know. We have no idea. And so I think everybody's in that same boat. You got 30, 40 new people, transfer portal kids, freshmen. Who knows how they're going to develop. And is the cream going to come to the top? So, but it all starts with the quarterback. And if you don't have a good one, you got no shot. And so I think, that's the one concern. I know the Hokies got some talent in that room, but you got to keep them healthy. And that's where it's all going to start there. So hopefully that'll be the case. And, I think otherwise they got enough depth. It's certainly trending in the right direction in terms of depth because Coach Franklin, he talked about we need to have 1, 2s, and 3s. And, now they probably got some good 1s and 2s, but still developing those other guys. And that's what spring practice is for.
Yeah, that's right. And there might be some hidden gems in there too, right? There might be some guys now that they haven't maybe penciled into that 3 deep and they go, wow, where did that kid come from? Right. There's going to be positives that maybe they didn't expect, some negatives probably they didn't expect, but that's what springtime's for. That's why it's so important.
Well, that's the thing, Rick. And what people need to understand too is that like everybody's slate is clean. These coaches don't know any of these players, right? Except Coach Pry and some of the ones that they kept as analysts and whatnot. But yeah, the slate is clean. So, I mean, the same thing happened when I was there. We had a coaching change. Jerry Claiborne got fired after my sophomore year. Charlie Coffey comes in. I mean, the slate's clean. You got to prove yourself all over again. And that means that competition in these winter workouts and spring practice is going to be fiercer than ever because everybody wants to, hey, I got overlooked, hey, they didn't ever give me a shot. Well, now you got your shot. So the competition is going to be great.
No, that's a great point. And you hope guys can understand that. But you're right. Even the guys who were selected to come in, who got paid, they have to come out and show why they deserve to be here. And that's a great point that kind of gets lost too much. Everything, the whole thing is just clean and white right now. So you have to kind of fill it in as you go. So that's a good thing.
That's it. No doubt about it. And that's why it's going to make competitions going to be fun. And there'll probably be a few fights in practice.
Good.
Yeah. That'll probably happen because that's never that bad of a thing.
No,
you just don't want to happen in a game.
Correct. Yeah, no game fights. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, what are you going to do with your week off, if you will? You don't have to go anywhere this week. That's good for you.
No, it's trying to catch up a little bit. And we still got the radio show Thursday night. We only have 2 left that are live in person. And our podcast, Bill and I sat down with the 3 coordinators last week and talked to them. And so the podcast is going to start getting released today. We have Brent Prowl on with us today, coming out at 10 o'clock on a podcast. And Brent was great. Yeah, he was great. And it was kind of funny just talking to him, reliving some of the stuff and his view. He said he didn't want to be a walk-around coordinator. He wanted to coach a position and be a coordinator because you get a better feel and you get a better handle on things instead of being just, I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm overseeing the whole defense, I don't have a position. He didn't want to do that. So that was kind of interesting to hear him talk about that, and he can get closer to his team. And, Doug Shear was great too. He was fantastic. What he wants to do with special teams. I know he talked, of course, Ty Howell, the offensive coordinator, some great ideas too, and the input he's getting. So, yeah, it was fun. I encourage people, if they get a chance, to listen to those to do.
All right. Yeah, we'll spread the word as well. We'll check that out. And as always, we want to thank Louise Baker. Louise Baker.
Heck yeah.
Long and Foster. Yes. We're recognizing her Thursday. She is the best. She is the best. Yeah.
You recognize her Thursday where?
Yeah, because she supports Radford too, so she gets recognized with her group at halftime of our final home game on Thursday.
Oh, that's awesome. Who you guys play?
USC Upstate is our final home game on Thursday.
Well, that's fantastic. Tell her congratulations, and God, I wish I could get over there, but we got a game. We got a radio show.
You got something else going on.
Yeah, she's the best though. Louise, what a great Hokie, great Highlander. She's a great supporter of athletics.
She is. She's everybody's friend in the community. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Well, all right, brother. Listen, have a great week, man. Have fun in the radio show, and tell Bill I said hey, and take care of yourself, man. Good to see you.
All right, sounds good, Rick. Stay warm. I think it's going to get better later in the week, so hopefully we'll be over this.
Yes, one more day at least.
Sun is trying to pop out a little bit today.
It is. Hopefully that's a precursor the rest of the week. I'm with you.
Now, yesterday I got in the car. It was 22, said it felt like 4. I thought, oh, my gosh. Let me go back to Miami.
That's right. Let that baby warm up a little bit. Yeah. Well, be safe, man. Good luck this weekend in Chapel Hill.
All right, Rick. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, man. There you go. Mike Burnop, good stuff from him as always. Thanks to Mike. All right, thanks to all of our guests today. It was great. Thanks to Marva. Thanks to Brian Seigla. Thanks to Matt Rohn, and, of course, Mike Burnop. Another great show loaded with terrific guests and free value entertainment. Thanks to you, the best audience here on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow, Hump Day Wednesday edition. Everybody take care, stay safe, and hope we made your day a little better.